Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we're talking about an artist named Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh lived long ago. He was born in 1853 and he died in 1890. So he is no longer with us anymore, but his wonderful art is. In fact, many of you might see this painting, whether it's on a poster or clothes or a book. It's everywhere. It's called Starry Night by that artist, Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh painted it like it was moving. Just look at all of those brush strokes. It looks like that sky is moving around. So that is probably why it's called Starry Night, because there's a lot of stars in the sky up there. But you can really see that movement by his brush strokes moving around in all those swirls in the sky. So today we're going to be inspired by Van Gogh's Starry Night for our backgrounds for our next project. So today you need to choose which way you're going to turn your paper, whether it's vertical up and down or side to side, which is horizontal. I'm going to hold mine vertically, but it's up to you how you hold it. Just keep in mind we are going to be using these for our next project, so you cannot change your mind after you pick. Today we're going to be using neon oil pastels. These are brand new, straight out of the box. You're the first to use them, so please make sure you take extra special care of them. I'm going to start making my Starry Night by picking one color, making something like a moon in the sky, and I'm going to make a bunch of dots with my oil pastels. The reason is because I'm turning those into those stars, similar to how Van Gogh made his Starry Night. It kind of looked like they were moving around in the sky with lots of whirls and swirls in there. So he really filled that space to make it look like it was moving by having all of those different lines going in certain directions. So I can change my color whenever I want. You are welcome to use whatever colors of oil pastel you want today. Just make sure that you're being careful, because as you can see, I already broke one. It's okay if it's an accident, but please don't do it on purpose. You are the first to use these. Okay, so it's up to you what colors you pick. So I'm going to go ahead and think about what color I might want next, because we will be doing something else to these after, so you want to leave a lot of white space in between your stars. So please don't color back and forth and fill in a space. We're just making a lot of different lines and patterns in that sky. So I'm going to go back around with some orange, so I think I chose warm colors to work with. I would suggest that you choose either warm, which are your reds, pinks, oranges, and yellows, or your cools, which are your purples, blues, and greens. The reason is because we are going to be adding something over top of this next. When you're done today filling up your night sky, make sure your name's in the back. You can use your magical art wipes in your bin to wipe off any messes on your hands. We do not need to wash our hands today. And then after my area is clean, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of what we're going to do next week. This is why it's super important to make sure that you leave some white space in that sky. Oh, I think I just showed you, yes, that's how to put the oil pastels back. All right, so it's super important because we will be painting next week. So when we are painting these, you want to make sure that you did not color in everything with oil pastel so that you leave room for paint. If you color everything with oil pastel today, you won't have any room for paint next week. And trust me, you're going to want some room for paint next week, because a magical thing happens when you paint on top of oil pastel. What happens when you dance in that paint and put it over oil pastel is that neon color shows right through the paint like magic. What it's doing is that oil that's in the oil pastel is pushing off the paint and creating something called a wax resist. It's actually pushing off that paint and resisting it to show that awesome color through. So anything that you color in oil pastel today or draw in oil pastel will show right through that paint. But this is why it's important to choose either warm or cool colors, because you're going to use the opposite next week. So because I used warm colors in my sky to draw my Starry Night, which are those reds, pinks, oranges, and yellows, I had to use cool color paints to go over top. That way there's a contrast. It really pops out and makes a difference. If I were to use red, or if I were to use the greens and blues, it would blend right into my paint. So that's why I'm choosing the opposite color of what I did last week. So make sure you're thinking about that today, artists. All right, when you're finished today, we are getting these ready to paint next week. So just make sure your stars in your sky are drawn and put it in your folder. When you're done, you can work in your sketchbook if you have extra time. All right, artists, have fun today.